I know what you're going to say.
You said you would play Dante!
I lied.
But since I'm delaying my video about Dante's Inferno, it gave me more time to focus on this next game. There are many superheroes that are well known throughout the world, but if you want a character that is equal parts heroic and dark, look no further than Wolverine. Wolverine started life in the comics as an antagonist to the Hulk, but he was so popular that his role was expanded, and he became part of the X-Men. Since then, he's been in almost every major X-Men piece of media, including movies, TV shows, and games. The one we'll be looking at is a tie-in game to his movie X-Men Origins Wolverine. The game is called X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged Edition, but we'll just be sticking with the movie title for simplicity's sake, since that title is a little long in the Sabretooth. This game was developed by Raven Software, who also created two of the greatest superhero games of all time, X-Men Legends and its sequel, Rise of Apocalypse. Raven was well versed in the lore of the X-Men, and they had a reputation for making really great games at the time. However, if you check Metacritic, you'll see that this game has a 75. The main criticisms were that the story was not that good, the gameplay was repetitive, and there was a general lack of replay value overall. Is this warranted? Well, let's follow Wolverine into his past and see if we can scratch out some answers. The game follows a similar plot to the movie, as we learn how Wolverine got his adamantium claws and meet up with some of his old acquaintances. But it doesn't follow the movie beat for beat, which is fine because most X-Men fans will tell you that the movie is not good. At all. There is some carryover from the movies in terms of the voice acting. Wolverine, for example, is voiced by Hugh Jackman, and most can agree that
I'm Wolverine!
given that the game's story is based on the flawed plot of the movie, it doesn't excel in that department, especially because the game has you go between two periods of time. One is the present, as Wolverine seeks revenge against Sabretooth, and the other is in Africa years prior, as Wolverine joins his then allies in hunting down something that his boss is interested in. This kind of dual timeline can be a problem if the story doesn't grab you, but sometimes all you need is a core gameplay loop that makes players ask for more. Wolverine's gameplay is incredible. The way you slice and dice your way through hordes of enemies with your claws is so satisfying. For comparison, it's satisfying the same way Doom 2016's gameplay is. It makes you feel like a killing machine on a boulevard of broken limbs. The game has two health bars. Both of them regenerate health, but the main bar regenerates faster if the heart health bar is close to full. If you take so much damage that it affects the heart, the main bar refills much more slowly. You're expected to get in the fray and take damage, but it's important to keep in mind that you're not invincible. This can be seen in Wolverine himself. If he takes damage, you'll see it. You can see his skull, his innards, all while it slowly regenerates. But you have ways of dishing out damage too. You can unlock all sorts of moves that really make enemies wish they didn't come in for work that day. And you can counter most of their moves. You can even unlock insta-kill moves. Ultimately, you have a lot of tools to choose from to tackle for each area. The levels are straightforward. You'll make your way across the map going from area to area, killing all sorts of enemies with the tools I mentioned. There is some platforming that Wolverine partakes in, but it's pretty basic. There's a mechanic where Wolverine has to balance on beams as he makes his way across. But this doesn't add anything. It just slows down your movement through the level. It appears to be tied to something Hugh Jackman added to the character in the movies, Wolverine's fear of flying.
Surprise, what? You afraid of a little climb, Logan?
It's not the climb, it's the drop.
This could extend to a fear of heights, and that's what we're seeing in this level. It's a bit of a reach, I know, but it's what makes the most sense to me. You can also find secrets throughout the levels, which unlock traits that can give your Wolverine a different build based on your playstyle, or different costumes. Sure, you'll have to face off against a leveled up Wolverine to unlock the costumes, but trust me, they're worth the fight.
Terrified, and then I see the look in your eye. Turn around, bite.
love Wolverine's original costume so much. You could tell the developers went above and beyond to make sure that different costumes are distinguishable from one another, but still look great across the board. And on that note, it'd be a good look if you liked and subscribed if you're enjoying this video. Now, you're probably wondering about the lack of replay value reviewers were talking about. I would agree that the game doesn't have enough there to justify its original $60 price tag. However, the gameplay is so satisfying that you'll want to come back and keep playing. Like I said earlier, it's similar to Doom 2016. The combination of combat and presentation creates a symphony of carnage. Speaking of symphony, the music intensifies the action and keeps it going. If you like shooters, you may recognize the composer, Paul Haslinger. He's done the music for many of the Rainbow Six games, Far Cry, and even Need for Speed. I would absolutely recommend X-Men Origins Wolverine to everyone that enjoys a great gameplay loop and over-the-top cartoonish violence. But there is one undeniable problem. You can't buy this game anymore. Activision's license for the X-Men brand ran out, so the game was delisted from electronic stores. You can buy copies secondhand, but the price is really high. At this point, there is no way to purchase the game that will benefit Activision or Raven Software. How do you play it then? Well, the game has been preserved on archive.org. Archive.org has saved many games that have been delisted or simply forgotten about. Wolverine is no exception, and you can find all of its versions there. I would absolutely recommend giving it a try with the means presented. The game might not be the best there is at what it does, but it is pretty nice. Next time, however, we're getting away from nice and traveling to the grim darkness of the future to find that there is only war.